Justice League of America number 8, written by Matt Kint, art by Doug Mahnke. So this whole arc is just going to be tie-in technically to Forever Evil. And I think it's basically, hey, where are the heroes? What's going on there? So we open up with the crime syndicate meeting saying, this world is ours, blah, blah, blah. And we get Stargirl's narration over top of it, basically just recapping for anyone who didn't read the issue, but she's also reaching out to Manhunter, like telepathically, like, hey, can you hear me? Who are those guys? Why are they so strong? Are the Justice League dead? Find out this issue. And we do see a double page spread of all of the Justice League, including a couple JLA members, just bloodied, passed out in some sort of rubble. So definitely not okay. But then we cut to Manhunter, who is waking up in just a wide open grassy field. And he's like, Jesus Christ, yes, Stargirl, I can hear you. Please stop talking for like 5 seconds. And as they both sit up in this grassy field, they're like, I don't know where the hell we are, what the hell's going on here. Manhunter walks over and finds out that there is a wall, an invisible wall, and they're in some sort of a prison. And as they look around, they see one other person coming towards them, and it's Jason Rush, who, for those of you unfamiliar, is half of Firestorm. However, Manhunter points out, like, wait a minute, hold on. This is Jason, but the way he's talking sounds a lot more like his other half, Ronnie. So something's going on there. But Jason's basically coming up saying, like, hey, great, new people. It's been really crazy here. See, I've been in here for a long time, and there weren't any other people. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of people all showed up, and they're all imprisoned down below. Come with me. I will show you to them. And he opens up this hatch in the middle of the field, and immediately Stargirl's like, this seems like an awful idea. And Manhunter basically says, yeah, but we got nothing else right now, because there is literally no other thing in this field. So you stay up here, watch the hatch, I'm going to go down. And Stargirl's like, oh, great. I get to do nothing again. I love when I do nothing. So he follows Jason down, and we make our way through like all this like boiler room looking places. And they finally arrive at this big open hatch. And inside is Themyscira with Red Sky and Wonder Woman's fighting. And Manhunter's like, oh, hey, Wonder Woman, I can talk to her. So he jumps down, but he lands with like no grace. He just crashes to the ground. Clearly he was expecting to fly. And Jason points out at that point, oh yeah, all of these prison cells remove your powers, or at least your powers, specifically yours. So no using those. And he's like, great, thank you for telling me beforehand. So he walks up to Diana, and she basically says, like, Jean, I don't know what to do here. That one side, the Amazons, have Colonel Trevor, and they're threatening to kill him unless I fight for them. The other side has Superman, and they're threatening to kill him unless I fight for them. And that's like man's world. I don't know which side I belong in. This inner turmoil is tearing me apart. And she just runs off. Manhunter's just like, okay, well, it seems like all of these prisons are built to prey on our weaknesses or something like that, he says after only seeing one prison. So Stargirl, you definitely need to stay up there. I need a link back up to the surface just in case things get a bit too crazy down here. She's like, yeah, well, got nothing else going on. And as he's about to go down into the next hatch along with Jason, they see that there's a mysterious figure also down here who they have yet to identify. So next one they go down to is a city, and it's just constantly in destruction and fixing itself immediately. And he's just like, what the heck? Who is this down here? Turns out it's Shazam. And Shazam is just wrecking buildings. And he's like, hey, Martian Manhunter, everything I break down here just immediately comes back. I'm having the time of my life. This is great fun. And then a giant robot monster crawls over the buildings, and he's like, I'm going to go punch it. And so at this point, Manhunter pieces together like, oh, right. He's part kid. This is just letting him be a destructive teen as he wants to do and knows that he can't do otherwise. So this is going to keep him busy because it's literally his heart's desire. That's messed up, but all right. So he's going to fight the robot, and then they go down into the next prison cell, and turns out it is a living room where Flash is just sitting on the couch. And he's like, hey, you want me to help you, Martian Manhunter? Don't worry about it. I've been helping people constantly. See, I thought of this thing recently where I'm the fastest man alive, and that means I can do everything. So here's what I did today. And he lists off like 100 different things that he did. And he's like, I did this, I did that, I ran around the world, I did all this, and it was great. It was fine. I was helping everybody. And as he's sitting there like describing it all, Martian Manhunter's like, dude, what are you doing right now? And he's like, oh, well, I'm helping these people, but he's not off the couch. And so Manhunter points out, like, Flash, you're not off the couch, buddy. You're just imagining you're doing all these things. But he's like so far gone, he's not even listening to it. So it's like, all right, well, that's a problem, but he's not causing any damage, so whatever. So at that point, they make their way down to the next hatch. And at this point, Jason says, I can go no further. You're on your own, buddy. And as he opens the hatch, he ends up in deep space. And as he sees this blue blur flying around, turns out it's Superman. And Martian Manhunter's like, Superman, great, fantastic. If anyone's going to be able to get out of this, it's you, man. We're in a prison. We're stuck here. And Superman says, yeah, I know. I've made this prison for me because I killed a man and I feel guilty about it. So I'm going to fly so fast, I'm going to turn back time to save that man's life. That's my plan right now. And Martian Manhunter says, are you really ripping off the first Superman movie? Are you honestly... All right, fine, whatever. Superman's a bit of a lost cause right now, so be it. So he goes out, he finds the next hatch, makes his way in, and he finds Simon Baz, who is in the middle of a crater, and he's basically saying, like, they all thought I was a terrorist, so I just showed them, like, what that would really be like if I was a terrorist, and I may or may not have committed some war crimes. And Manhunter's like, okay, well, you didn't do that. None of this is real. You're cool. And he's just like, nah, I feel like I did that. I think I really did that. So final thing we get is Stargirl saying, hey, Manhunter, you might want to get back up here because I found a way out. Like, you tried for all of 30 seconds, and I just found a way out on the other side. And so she pushes her way through it, phases through the prison wall, and on the other side seems to be our regular Earth, and it's just completely destroyed. Like, we see the White House just in shambles, bodies in cars, the sun is eclipsed, you know how it is. So, yeah. I don't much care for the whole, oh, it's a prison of the mind. We can all of our greatest weaknesses come to life. Like, look, I've been reading DC Comics for like almost 10 years now. This is a common thing, and it's overdone. I'm kind of through with it. As for everything else, it's fine. Doug Mahnke's art is great. I don't have a problem with that. But it is just so much no, let's walk through, see what everybody's doing. Why are none of these other heroes able to help? I don't know what direction the story's going to go in, but this was a poor first chapter for me personally. I think that it's pretty much the most boring possible thing they could have done. And if we keep this up for 6 issues, Jesus, I can't even imagine. So I'm going to give this one just I'll give it a 5.5. It's above average, but I think that it's just a weak outing in general. So improve next time, please.